Hi everyone, Ms. Tui here. Ozobot needs your help to get to school. You will compare decimal numbers to determine the missing color codes that program Ozobot to correctly follow the path to school. For today's lesson, you will need an Ozobot fully charged and calibrated, color code markers, a pencil, and your comparing decimal activity sheets. There are 2 of them. In today's lesson, you will compare pairs of decimals using greater than, equal to, and less than. You'll use your answers to determine the missing color codes that complete the path Ozobot will follow. And you will complete the path with missing color codes and run your bot to check your answers. A decimal number is a number that is made up of whole numbers and parts or values less than 1. This is the number 23 and 64 hundredths. The dot in the number is called a decimal point. The numbers to the left of the decimal point are whole numbers. The numbers to the right of the decimal point are parts. Here's the decimal number 457 and 392 thousandths. Let's look at the whole numbers first. The 7 in the ones place represents 7 times 1. The 5 in the tens place represents 5 times 10, or 50. The 4 in the hundredths place represents 4 times 100, or 400. Now let's look at the parts or values less than 1. The 3 in the tenths place represents 3 times 1/10. The 9 in the hundredths place represents 9 times 1/100th. The 2 in the thousandths place represents 2 times 1/1000th. You can compare decimal numbers using different place values. Numbers can be compared using greater than, equal to, and less than. Here are the decimal numbers 7 and 45 hundredths and 7 and 49 hundredths. Since both numbers have the same whole number, 7, you need to look at the parts to compare them. When you look at the parts, you see both numbers also have the same value in the tenths place, 4. Now look at the hundredths place. Compare 5 and 9. 5 hundredths is less than 9 hundredths, so 7 and 45 hundredths is less than 7 and 49 hundredths. Let's compare another pair of decimal numbers. Here's 21 and 728 thousandths and 21 and 723 thousandths. Both numbers have the same whole number, 21. Both numbers also have a 7 in the tenths and a 2 in the hundredths place. You will compare the numbers in the thousandths place. Compare 8 and 3. 8 is more than 3, so 8 thousandths is more than 3 thousandths. And 21 and 728 thousandths is greater than 21 and 723 thousandths. To begin, you will need the Comparing Decimals activity sheet. The sheet has 10 different decimal number pairs you will compare using greater than, less than, or equal signs. Let's look at the first 2 numbers together. The first number is 2 and 608 thousandths, and the second number is 2 and 607 thousandths. Both numbers have the same value in the ones, the tens, and the hundredths. The first number has an 8 in the thousandths, and the second number has a 7 in the thousandths. I will underline both of these values to show how I know 2 and 608 thousandths is greater than 2 and 607 thousandths. I will write a greater than sign in the box to show the comparison. Can you underline the thousandths place in each number? Then write a greater than sign in the box for number 1 to show that 2 and 608 thousandths is greater than 2 and 607 thousandths. Next, look at the Comparing Decimals map. There are 10 different missing color codes labeled with the numbers 1 through 10. You will use the answers to the comparisons you make on the activity sheet and the color codes key at the bottom of the page to identify the missing color codes. If your comparison is less than, the missing color code sequence is green, black, red. If your comparison is greater than, the missing color code sequence is blue, black, red. If your comparison is equal to, the missing color code sequence is blue, red, green. Let's look back at the symbol written to compare the numbers 2 and 608 thousandths and 2 and 607 thousandths. The greater than symbol was written. Which color code is missing for number 1 on the map? Now that you know what the first missing color code is, you are ready for your color code markers. I'm going to find the missing color code labeled with the number 1. I will put in the color sequence blue, black, red because 2 and 608 thousandths is greater than 2 and 607 thousandths. Can you complete the first missing color code on your map? Since the first comparison was greater than, you will use the color sequence blue, black, red. Nice job comparing your first pair of decimal numbers to determine the missing color code. Ozobot is one step closer to getting to school on time. Let's do one more example together. Look at the pair of decimal numbers for number 2 on your activity sheet. The first number is 1 and 839 thousandths, and the second number is 1 and 843 thousandths. Both numbers have the same value in the ones place and the tenths place. The first number has a 3 in the hundredths place, and the second number has a 4 in the hundredths place. I will underline both of these values to show how I know 1 and 839 thousandths is less than 1 and 843 thousandths. I will also write a less than sign in the box to show the comparison. Now that I have my second comparison, I will look at the color codes key to determine the second missing color code. I will put in the color code sequence, green, black, red for number 2. Can you compare the second pair of decimal numbers on your activity sheet? Then use the comparison to complete the second missing color code on your map. Now it's your turn to show what you know. Compare the other 8 pairs of decimal numbers. Then use your comparisons to complete the missing color codes on the map. Since the color codes you are using are asymmetric, the order of the colors are important for your bot to process the correct code. Be sure to pay close attention to the direction your bot is traveling as it moves from one number to the next in order to put the color sequences in the right boxes. Look at how your bot will move from number 3 to number 4. The first color of the missing color code will start here. For this example, the first color of the color code sequence will start on the right instead of the left. After you have compared all 10 pairs of decimal numbers and used your answers to find and complete the missing color codes on your map, you can add the win-exit code in the last 2 boxes on the path. Then you are ready for your bot. If all of your comparisons were made correctly, your bot should move smoothly from start to school. Let's see my bot in action. I've used black lines to not give away the answers, but you will have color codes. Now it's your turn. Can you color in the win-exit code in the last 2 boxes of your path? Then put your bot on start to check your comparisons and to help Ozobot get to school. Remember to check your work. Your activity sheet should have the place values that helped you make your comparisons underlined in each number. 10 different comparisons using greater than, less than, or equal to. Your map should have 10 completed color codes using the color codes key. Your work should show how place value helps you to compare decimal numbers and how Ozobot follows the directions of the color codes you added to move from start to school. Looking for more to do? Round the decimal numbers on your activity sheet to the place you underlined. Did any of your comparisons change? Or connect decimal numbers to the real world by showing decimal numbers on the activity sheet as money. Can you write to tell how much the decimal would be or show the value using drawings of dollars and coins? Come back again soon for our next lesson.